The Rumblebee is back. You can buy this year. For those that don't know, Dodge made a sport truck in 2004, 2005 called the Rumblebee. Sporty truck, had the 5.7 liter Hemi. It had some of the sportiness of like the SRT10 truck, but with a more affordable 5.7 liter Hemi, which they're still now using.
It's still the same one.
It's the same engine.
Well,
although
this is
back then in 2004, it made 345 horsepower, less power. Now it makes 395. They have 3 of these Rumblebees. The base B is 5.7 liter Hemi, tried and true Hemi engine they've used for 20 years now. 395 horsepower, all-wheel drive. All of these trucks are all-wheel drive, or four-wheel drive. All the trucks have the same wide body proportions as the TRX, but they're lower to the ground and they're tuned more for street performance.
Short wheelbase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the other thing is all these trucks are quad cab with a short bed, which is not a configuration
you can get otherwise. Yeah.
that they make. Because they make different cab configurations, they make different bed configurations, but there is no other way to get a quad cab, which is the smallest 4-door you could get in a Ram, and the short bed.
It's going to be a hood classic, the Hellcat Ram. It's going to be on all the music videos, every street takeover. So many dudes are going to be pinwheeled across an intersection by the tailgate of one of these at a street takeover. It's insane.
Yeah. What I think is really cool, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure the SRT10 Ram still holds the top speed record for the fastest production truck.
The top of the line SRT one here supposedly is going to get to 180.
Yes, I'm saying it hasn't gone on sale yet. So I'm saying up until right now,
still holds the record.
I think that SRT10 Ram still holds the record for the fastest production truck.
That wouldn't surprise me.
The highest top speed.
That wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, let's get back to the lineup. So the base one, 5.7 liter Hemi, we know that engine is basically a TRX for the street as far as proportions go, but with a 5.7. They were asked, Tim Kanuskis was asked about the regular cab, and he basically said, all of you keyboard warriors complain about a single cab, but none of you buy them. It's 3% of our sales. And this is already going to be relatively low production compared to however many other Rams they sell. We're not going to further split this into single cab, quad cab. And you know what? He's right.
But it's also because they're going to be competing with the Scrambler.
The Jeep?
The Jeep Wrangler Scrambler is supposed to have that engine.
Oh, dang. All right, well, we'll get to that. So that's the base one. The mid-range one is the Rumblebee 392, which, from the name, you could basically understand what it is. It's the same as the base Rumblebee, but with the 6.4 liter Hemi engine, makes in the truck 470 horsepower. Although you can get the Rumblebee 392 with the track pack, which adds some of the performance options available on the top of the line trim, which is the Rumblebee SRT, which of course uses the engine everybody loves, that whiny 6.2 liter Hellcat.
Race hard and fight.
It has a unique front fascia and a lot of unique trim options on the interior, and of course all of the performance upgrades.
It produces like 150 pounds of downforce, which I don't know that it needs if it weighs as much as it does.
It's pretty cool.
Dodge as a brand and Ram, which has been, I guess, sort of corrugated off into its own brand, is kept alive by sheer gravitas and coolness. Like there's really no financial based decision that could ever drive a person to purchase this as a product.
No.
But just the sheer audacity to do it
anyway.
It's just hilarious and cool.
And they'll sell. These things will sell. They will sell really well.
Nobody's like, oh, I started this new business and the only truck that works for me is this street 777 horsepower.
Dude, car dealerships in Oceanside are salivating right now. They are salivating outside of the Pendleton Southgate. Just like, oh my, like they're already booking their 2028 vacations in anticipation of a unending stream of privates purchasing some configuration of this truck.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Logan. And honestly, this is what, whether you're a Dodge fan or not, this is what you want Dodge and Ram to be doing. This is their thing. Now, imagine a couple of years ago going to, European business suit Carlos Tavares and saying, "Hey, look, I want to make a bright yellow supercharged quad cab short bed truck." He'd look at you like you have. There's no way you're pitching that to someone.
You would just get fired for even saying it.
Yeah, we're in a very different world now post Carlos
Tavares.
Tavares.
The $100,000 truck has become a thing. Trucks used to be
The cheap option.
60s and 70s and 80s. Yeah, it was the cheap option. It was extremely utilitarian, but now trucks have become everything. Trucks have become, so like a camel is a horse that's been designed by a committee. Trucks are almost like that. Like they're a luxury vehicle, they're a towing vehicle, they're all these things. I guess it makes sense to have a $100,000 muscle truck more now than in the previous era. This is not outside of that market segment at all, and at least it offers something it's actually like, hey, what if we gave you like a huge ass engine and a supercharger?
Well, the real question is, what if we gave you a vehicle that everyone knew what it was as soon as they saw it?
Before they saw it, honestly, like probably from 17 blocks away.
You could hear them running people over.
Well, they're going to hear Trap Queen by Fetty Wap playing on the JBL, and then they're going to hear the supercharger whine, and then they're going to see you drive by.
TFL podcast, they had a guy on who was in the investor meeting that we're about to talk about. Kaniskis basically said, like, you saw what we did with the Rams. That's happening everywhere.
Yeah. Which is exciting. Again, It's like, love them or hate them, that is their bread and butter. And that is, whether you're a Mopar fan or not, like, you just have to love things like the Viper, like a Viper-powered truck and a supercharged family 7-seater SUV and just any other wacky, just outrageous, octane-fueled wet dream that the folks over in Detroit think
I swear,
up.
Kaniskis just goes to his 12-year-old and is like, all right, what's the next idea?
Yeah. And it's great.
He goes to the riders of Fast and Furious.
Well, there's a reason that Dodge vehicles are primarily in the Fast and the Furious franchise.
It's so rad. It's such a certified banger. And this is something that, like, I really was not even considering. This wasn't even, like, on the radar. Like, I think that this is kind of like heroin, where you're, like, you go throughout your life, you never really think, like, this is something that I really need. But, like, once it enters your life, you're like, oh, where's this been,
You really making the pitch for heroin?
Yeah, this thing is sick.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Okay, yeah.
There's a little bit more news on Ram. I just want to touch on this real quick. So the Rampage apparently continuing to just completely fill out the Stellantis lineup. That's been on sale in Mexico and South America for a while now. And it's done really well there. In Brazil, this is actually the second best-selling car of any kind in Brazil. They sell like gangbusters there.
The issue with getting them here is emissions. And also that the engines that they offer in this are like sub 100 horsepower.
They would not fly.
No.
Yeah. So Tim Kaniskis did say a version of this will come to the U.S. based on the Rampage. So a lot of its DNA will be shared, but I imagine by the time it comes here, it will be in need of some type of refresh. And at that time, I'm sure they'll make changes to make it compliant with emissions or safety or whatever other things they need to adhere to sell it here. And also put an engine that Americans would tolerate. Yeah, it would sit below the upcoming Dakota. This is more like Maverick size. Be like more of a Maverick competitor.
The Dakota, they did get an unveiling of that. The investors did.
Oh, wow.
They got to see it. And he said that the new Rams will get the same face as the Dakota. So the Dakota doesn't look like the current Ram. It looks like the next-gen Ram. And the next-gen Ram looks more like the Ram Rev concept.
Okay.
More smooth with the headlights that in toward the middle. So the new Rams are supposed to look like that Rev, and then the Dakota looks like a smaller version of that.
It could offer gas, hybrid, or even performance variants. Evidently, SRT versions have been discussed. I mean,
yeah, this one, they were talking about potential for high output, but not the Rumblebee package. The Dakota is confirmed for a Rumblebee.
really?
Yeah, for a Rumblebee street truck package.
That would be like the old Tacoma. What was that called? The street truck Tacoma? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
From the early, they were all blue, and they had unique ground effects. They were lowered. It was from the factory.
Yes,
Dakota,
yes,
or not
yes.
Dakota, Tacoma.
Tacoma, yeah.
Be like a mid-size.
But I don't think those had any different horsepower.
I don't know either, but I mean they were lower, so I assume they have some sort of suspension tuning for more street performance.
So the Dakota is going to come, and it's going to come quickly with a street truck package because nobody else is doing that.
Well, no, there's the Maverick Lobo, but it's mainly a cosmetic thing.
And the F-150 Lobo.
But as far as a street truck, which of course they know, like think about how many of these things will get crashed at street takeovers, and they buy another one.
Junkyards are full of Hellcats.
Hellcats, yeah. Did not hear about this.
Toyota wants in on some of the full-size truck fun that evidently everyone else is having. Toyota and Chevy just kind of sitting around watching Ford and Ram have all the fun. Evidently, it'll be called the TRD Hammer.
That's a great name.
I don't have a problem with the name. I think it's interesting. The prompt here is basically a full-size Tundra with some of the performance upgrades of something like a Raptor. I mean, it's not hard to imagine what that might look like, right?
Right, and it's going to be something similar enough to this. That's a pretty cool idea.
Very cool. Don't know what it would power. I would only assume this is my speculation, it would compete with the base Raptor and the RHO.
Yeah, they don't have an engine platform that would even remotely compete in the other categories.
No, they don't have any 700 plus horsepower.
They don't even have like a 600 horsepower or anything that would keep up with an RHO.
This would compete more with an RHO or base Raptor.
If you're actually going off-road, something reliable would be nice.
I'm already picturing how this thing would sound, and I'm like,